Sunday. We back, folks, on this Sunday afternoon. Nice afternoon. I know we went through a little bit of weather last week. Last couple of weeks been kind of cold and chilly. But today we're going to get it hot up in here, talk about a little bit of high school. We're going to have a couple special guests on. Two young men at the Mid-Dell has done their thing. Now they're about to go play a little college ball. We're going to have Mr. D'Angelo Irvin. They'll be going to UNLV. And Mr. Reed DeQuazy, the outstanding quarterback that left Choctaw, took his talent over to Carl Albert Titans and won them a state championship. Their 17-goal ball. Huh?
You said he transferred?
He transferred. He got in the portal, and guess what? He just went down the street. He didn't have to go too far, though.
He's like, I'm out. Y'all can have the... No, be quiet.
Hey, we keep it 100 here, folks. We keep it 100. But like I said, man, I like to give a big shout out to my man here sitting to... when you say my right, going to jump over Jonah. We're going to jump over Jonah. And we're going to jump over to Big E. Like to say big congratulations to my man, Big E, that's worked his butt off. Not only did he graduate from Rose State with his associate's degree, but now he's going to take his talent to OU. And I love it,
folks. Hit the transfer portal.
He hit the transfer portal. But he graduated from one of the schools before he did it.
Clubs go far.
Yeah. But I like to give it up to this young man because he's been with me since I started this show. And just what he's done with his life so far, graduate from Choctaw, Oklahoma back in 2020. Now he's graduated from Rose State. Now he's going to take his talents over to to University of Oklahoma, the school that he loves, and he knows everything about the football. But boy, we're going to really have the inside now, him being on campus. So folks, but like I said, just big congratulations to this young man, what he's done in his life, man. It's big time when you can graduate from one and now he's heading off to get his bachelor's degree, and that's just outstanding. But before we bring these two gentlemen on, how you guys doing this morning? This afternoon, I mean.
Doing good. Just ate, church.
Yep.
Oh, so you got a little bit of the Lord in you this morning.
Always got the Lord in me.
That's good. That's good. Big E, what about you?
Same thing. Went to church and then went out with my mom and my sister. We went and ate afterwards, and then now we're here.
That's good stuff, though, man. We got a little bit to talk about, man. Got to talk about that Dell City Douglas game, one of the best high school games that was played last Friday night. Dell City got the
no guns?
Huh? No guns. They might have metal detectors. The game was packed. They had the stump team up in there. Everybody from the east side of Oklahoma was up in there cheering for them Douglas Trojans. And they came out with Terry, the kid that transferred from Dell City, that went over there, went over to Douglas and took his talents to Douglas. Left Mr. Laney Hatchett. Now he's over there at Douglas. And man, I think they sitting at 17-1. A great high school basketball.
Douglas is?
Yes, Douglas is good.
Okay.
They good. I'll put this dunk up. We don't have the rights to the dunk, but I'll put it up, and I tell you, when y'all see that dunk, y'all gonna jump out of y'all's chair and see if y'all go outside and dunk.
This is the kid that went from Dell City.
He went over to.
Okay, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, but this is what I'm gonna tell you though, real quick, Jonah. Dell City got this 6'9" center, right? Going to Oklahoma State. And he's a McDonald All-American. And he's gonna go play next to LeBron James' son, Bronny. And this man is soft as cotton, mate. Soft as what? What did Daryl used to always say? Soft as medicating cotton?
Soft as Charmin is what I use.
Soft as Charmin. Man, man, you 6'9". He didn't have one dunk. If you was to walk in that gym, you that watch a lot of basketball, if you was to walk in that gym on Friday night and you would have saw Terry, the Douglas kid, and you would have saw Garrison, good kid, nice kid, wonderful kid.
That you?
I don't know. It could be me. Yeah. If you'd have walked in that gym and you'd have said, man, who's McDonald's All-American, you'd have thought it was Terry.
What did we talk about a couple weeks ago?
Talk to me, because, I'm old. I forget.
Dog.
Come
out a dog. Not everybody.
Terry was the dog, man. I'm telling you, man, the kid played out, showed out, and say, hey, Dell City, I might have left you, but I ain't forgot about you because I'm going to put it on you real quick. And that's what he did Friday night. They get the big win over the Dell City Eagles, 52-45. A great game, went back and forth. The last 2 minutes was when Douglas took over and showed out and did their thing. So I just like it's just funny because you see a kid as a McDonald All-American. He's the 11th kid out of the state of Oklahoma. Which is big time, you get that honor, and you can get that. But I'm telling you, man, if I'm 6'9", I'm gonna be dunking on people. I'm gonna be socializing people. I'm gonna be making people look like they're tiny.
Did he already sign?
He signed with Oklahoma State.
Sometimes you don't want to.
But he's been playing like that for a few years now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said,
but he got a lot of potential. So folks don't think I'm hating. I'm just saying, a man that big, you should punish people.
But is that his game though? He made.
I mean, he couldn't really hit a turnaround jumper. I mean, what's his game?
Apparently he doing something.
I mean, yeah, you 6'9", you gonna get look. I'm saying the kid got game, but I'm saying sometimes in them games like that, I mean, help me, Biggie, preach with me now. Sometimes in a big game like that, you got to show out and let people know who's the real dog.
Yep, big time players make big time plays in big time games.
Not everyone is a dog.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Right.
I just don't know what to tell you.
But
Terry came out and was a dog.
We came out dogs. Not everybody. I mean,
that's what it is then. But folks, like I said, we got, two special guests today. We might have a call in this afternoon, man. The phone lines might get hot, man. A lot of things going on. When you have these 2 weeks off, man, and you come back and only do 2 shows, everybody want to jump on the train, man. Because right now it's getting hot up in here. You got wrestling duels about to take off. You got high school basketball, girls and boys wrapping up. Teams are fighting to see who's gonna get area. I mean, to get to host a regional. All kind of big things coming up here in the next few weeks.
Your boy looked nice the other day though.
Who's that?
Gabe.
Yeah, he did. I was gonna give him a little bit of love, man. But I tell you, folks,
$42.
he paid $42 to come watch his nephew wrestle. Man. But hey, it's a good cause to come watch your nephew wrestle, man. He put on a show. He was ready. He cut his weight right. Kid looked good. I said, man, I ain't seen him look like that since he's back over there with Benny Coleman with them yellow jackets. I'm telling you, the boy looked good the other night. I don't like to give it up to my kid, but I'm gonna give it to him. He better do something because I already went purchased my ticket for nationals, so he better go take care of business.
Put that on my taxes. $42.
$42, man. I'm just telling you though. But he showed out a little bit, man. I like to thank all my family that came out, family and friends. Some people I ain't seen in years. John Dunlap and his wife and son Cole came out, man. I love to see that Joe Lindenham and his wife came out. It really makes you feel good when people can come out and support your kid and have all my family there, my mom, my brothers, and all their kids, man. It just tickled me to death. Byers came out, son played up at North Texas. He came out and supported Gabe. But just fun. It's good to see family and friends can come out and support you. That's what it's all about. But folks, man, Big E, you got anything before we get going? I know your OU Sooners is offering everybody and their mama a scholarship. Yeah. Actually, my mama said she just got a call a minute ago, and they offered her.
No, who's popping is Colorado right now.
No, but you got to get OU offering OU's offering everybody in Oklahoma. Hey, you can kick.
That's good.
That's what
I like it.
I
like it.
Giving those kids an opportunity to play. A lot of those kids probably, grew up fans of OU,
so
and
you're gonna try hard.
Yeah. I mean, those are the guys you want. That's the thing that Venables is talking about. We want guys that want to be here, and offering those guys from the smaller towns that are big fans of the program. They're gonna want to be there. They're gonna go in there. They're gonna work hard. And hopefully play their way into a spot, whether it's a rotational role, starting role, or whether it's helping the 1s and 2s get ready for game day on the practice squad. They're going to be able to contribute there. But yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome to see. You didn't see that a whole lot with the past staff. A lot of in-state talent that got looked over, and then they went off elsewhere and did their thing there. So I'm glad that OU's starting to keep some of that in-state talent at Oklahoma. So
no, that's big time. They just offered 3 kids from Carl Albert. So
Carl Albert don't get offered.
Hey, Carl Albert getting it, man. I tell you, Coach Don has changed. He's changed the coach over there. Change coach over there. Don has a lot of connections, man. Knowing Levy, and coaching in Texas, knowing a lot of these guys. So when you win 17 state championships, and he's trying to do everything he can, not taking down from Corley or Coach Rose. Don has that young.
No, Coach Rose wasn't trying to get you nothing.
I'm just saying, not taking down from those guys, but Don is the younger. He's on Twitter. He knows what's going on. He goes around to high school games, and he was at Del City, he was at Texas. Now he's over at his, back at home where where he's loving it and having fun. He'll shoot for another state championship. We'll talk to Reed DeQuazy here in a minute and see who's going to fill his shoes, because there's going to be some big shoes to fill, because Reed can change a game in a minute, just kind of like Oklahoma's weather.
What do y'all think about that NFL script being scripted? Think that's true?
I mean, I think with how much money is involved in the NFL, I mean, I'm sure some of it has to be scripted.
Saying the fact that players are getting, all right, this is what
I don't think that's the case. I don't think it's like, honestly, when I saw that interview with Arian Foster and everything on that one podcast, that when I was watching that, they were kind of joking about it. Like, you can tell, like, by their demeanor, they were kind of joking about it. I think
like you said, it's so much money, and Vegas owns everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some
like
kinda,
a ref, or it has to be something like, I'm not gonna call this call
And if you were watching that Chiefs versus Bengals game, you would have had to have thought that something had to have been
Well,
scripted.
you're gonna miss it. I mean, you can call holding on every player.
That's true.
But
Yeah, but I mean, I think that extra down that they got on that third down play, I mean, I think that was a pretty BS call. But I'm pretty excited about this Super Bowl, though. I've never been this excited about a Super Bowl.
The Eagles should blow them away.
Hey, it's the first time 2 black African American
I hate that when they bring that stuff
Well,
up.
I understand that, but I mean, it's and I'm gonna ask you guys a question before we get off the show, and I'll let you get a chance to think about it. I did a podcast yesterday with what was it, Jersey?
It was Jerd Knox.
Jerd Knox.
He just showed up.
Showed up and showed out. Hey, I told Keep It 100 is the real deal, but I want to say thank you to Coach Cole from over there at Bigsby. He's put his little podcast together. Me and Ethan, have done, some work with him and talked to him. He's one of our biggest fans, and I got to give him the same support that he gives us with the Keep It 100. He loves Jonah because Jonah always got something to say about his Bigsby secondary. He is a secondary. No,
I just said there was their weakness, not saying they were bad.
But he said in Kids D1, he told me to tell you,
I love it. I want them to go D1.
But like I said, I want to give him some love, man. It was pretty cool to do another podcast. It wasn't mine, and they asked me questions. I got to talk, and it was good stuff. We talked about some good things, man. That should drop sometime next week. But like I said, it was exciting to do that, to get on and talk to somebody else about their podcast, and me get to answer questions and tell them a little bit about Keep It 100. Like I said, we will be doing our scholarship. I need to start, go and get that collected, and we need to put something together. It might be Jonah's.
Am I allowed to apply for that scholarship?
Hey, you allowed. Hey, you you write a good essay. Yeah. I'll probably have Jonah put that together since he's our educational man, and tell him him and HR can work on that. You know what I mean, to have the. Say it again.
Credentials
to have to get the scholarship. So we want to give it to a young man or woman that deserves it, and it's going to help them any way it can. With school books, laptop, anything it does to help them. But folks, we're going to take a quick break.
What was the question?
What question?
You said you had to ask a question.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Before we get off the show, I want to ask you two, what does Black History mean to you guys? This is Black History Month. It ain't got to be nothing
I
big,
don't like
but
it.
The way
no, you ain't got to answer right now. We'll do it by the end of the show.
Okay.
But just kind of give you something to think about. What does Black History mean to you as a black man? Ethan, you're a minority yourself, but what does it mean to you? And like
Ethan, what are you, Persian? What are you?
Yeah, I'm more white than anything, really.
He said more white.
Yeah, I'm more white than anything.
There is no white.
There is no more white. Yeah. Everybody got a little bit of something.
Shades of brown.
I'm just a darker version of chocolate.
There is no one's white.
But we're going to take a quick break real quick. Right after one of our what?
One of our sponsors.
Keep it at 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. But let's get back on if we can finish up, though, man, in case we get another caller. But, I want to talk about, number 2 call-out girls getting knocked off a couple weeks ago by Piedmont girls, 44 to 45. It's still, call-out girls are still, I think they're still number 1, number 2 on this side of the state. It just tells you how good, basketball is. Piedmont's a team that's up and coming. You will see Piedmont moving up to 6A here the next year or so. I'll tell you, that's going to be good to see him going that 6A small. We'll compete with the gold standard, and then Deer Creek, and you add Piedmont out there, and then I just tell you, I think it's going to be really interesting in the next few years when you start getting all those teams hooked up. You had Lincoln Christian girls knocking off Jones girls 58-41, give Jenny her 3rd or 4th loss of the year. A team that's 2-time state champions trying to win a 4th. But they're going to have their work cut out because they got Bethel here in a couple weeks, and you got Washington girls sitting at 20-0. So it's going to be tough for Jenny to get back there. But, you start playing good ball at the right time, guess what? Anything can happen. So, we're going to see what happens. And, Midwest City girls get knocked off by number 4. Midwest City girls get knocked off. PC West girls. PC West got that team. Choctaw's best player left him, and after spring break, and she took her talents over to PC West, and they're still sitting at number 3. You know, you still got Edmond North and Edmond Memorial sitting in front of them on this side of state. So it just tells you how tough that bracket is. Like I said, it's crazy. Then we'll talk about the boys rankings real quick. I just want to talk to these guys before we get into boys ranking. Parents, at kids' age, I kind of went through a little bit of stuff this week. Last week, with my daughter Zoe and Annabelle and Brinley Crawford. People was kind of, I'm not gonna say hating.
What would you call it?
Hating. It was weird because my daughter, she plays 6th grade. She played 7th grade when her 6th grade season's over, and she's been playing 8th grade all year. We've had some parents and some teams kind of hating and watching what they do. To me, they're 6th grade. When you get in high school, and you guys tell me what do you think? When you get in high school, I know middle school is middle school, but when you get in high school, there's really no grade. When your kid gets a freshman and she gets a chance to play as a freshman, as a sophomore, do you give her that opportunity? Same thing as a 6th grader. If she's good enough to play with the 6th grade and she's not having turnovers, she's not costing you games, do you let them play with the 7th grade and 8th grade? Or do you let them stay in their same grade? It got to the point that kind of OSSA got into it. Andy, Chris Crawford, and all those guys, they kind of got it handled. But at the end of the day, I shouldn't think that none of those girls should have to go through that because they're 6th grade. There's no eligibility in 6th grade. Most teams don't even have 6th grade sports. I mean, I know the school that your son goes to, they don't have 6th grade sports, do they?
No.
So he's still playing organized sports from leagues and stuff. So I just thought it was kind of weird that they had to go through that.
Even that, why does it matter? It's not the YMCA. If you're in 8th grade and 6th grade is taking your spot, you need to get back to the lab. It's not Zoe's fault. No. It's the parents' fault. Zoe's always on Twitter because she's doing what? Putting in work.
Yes, sir.
You got to put in work. You just can't roll out of bed. You got to put in, especially basketball. You got to get your shots up. I mean, I don't get it. What are the parents crying about?
Yeah.
Because their kid don't get to play? I get it.
Don't get to play.
But that's not Zoe's fault. That's not your fault.
No.
That is your fault.
Big E, what do you think?
I'd have to agree, and then plus, like, you go and you see it all the time. Kids play up all the time. You watch AAU ball. Kids are playing up all the time. Well, you'll see like a 12-year-old playing on like a 14U team, whatever. I mean,
they can go.
Yeah, if I'm a coach and I see Zoe balling out, even though she's a 6th grader, I mean, I'm gonna have to play her because my job is dependent on wins and losses.
Right. And
so I'm
gonna keep her in the system.
Yeah, exactly.
If I know I got a 6th grader and she's better than my 8th grader, and Zoe has a chance to go somewhere else, I'm going to show Zoe the love to keep her. You know what I'm saying?
And I think it's where it should be. I think that Coach E has done a great job coaching these girls and dealing with the headache that it could be, And I tell you, before this all happened, I didn't want this to happen. And the biggest thing I don't want to happen is that these girls
are mean to each other.
Yeah, mean to each other.
Well, that deals with the parents.
And that's what I said. It starts
a reflection of what the kids going to act like.
Say that one more time.
The parents are a reflection of what the kids. That's just like racism. Yeah. You don't come out racist. Your parents teach you that.
Stuff's taught.
You don't come out of hate. It's the parent. Yeah. They gotta weed that all out. You gotta go somewhere else. I mean, you're just hindering the kids. Supposed to be having fun at this point anyway. Yeah. They're not in high school.
And then that's the thing. The thing is that when you're building this, like you said, when you're building this brand, like you talked about LeBron, you're building this brand. You're building a state championship team. Right. It takes 12 girls, 14 girls, even the girls that don't start, but if they're giving you good practice and being practice players, it's making your team better. So instead of
it's
us
not
being,
an I, it's a me. It's
it.
a us.
But parents would rather them kid put up 35 points and get beat.
Oh, that's the thing. It's the parents. My thing is, they're in 6th, 7th grade. Zoe may not even. Zoe could be the lady now. I'm just saying, just like Noah. Noah could be the man now. He get in high school. We'd be like, okay, what happened to Noah? What happened to Zoe? They grow spurts. Things change. It's 6th grade. Let them just play. It'll all play out in the end.
Parents are special,
But
special. But like I said, it just it's just a lot that we had to go through last week as parents. As myself, my daughter, the Crawfords. One of the girls gonna get to play. It was kind of a crazy deal. School was wondering if how many games they played. They're sixth grade. It doesn't matter how many games they played. And my whole point, man, I'm not gonna be scared of no sixth graders. I'm gonna go out there and say, hey man, let's get busy.
Right,
Let's go. Let's slap. Yeah, so worry about the wrong things, man. Get your team better to go play that team. Win, lose, or draw. Guess what? We all gonna wake up the next day. I'm saying we'll worry about some of the wrong things, but like I said, I just kind of want to get that out because it might be other people going through that stuff with different schools. But you know, at the end of the day, man, it's not my kid's fault that she puts in the work. You know, we're with a new trainer now, waiting to get back in with Allison. Zoe Love's been on the court. I mean, I'm looking forward to see her run track. I think her getting over Coach Thomas and doing some things, and she's gonna start training with a trainer.
When do you start?
Track.
When you start training?
We'll probably start training probably the 1st of March.
Okay, I'll be out there with you.
Yeah, we're gonna get busy. I mean, but I'm looking forward.
You a
to
track guy, Jonah?
Oh yes, that's my love. Track.
You know, but I'm looking forward to seeing her run track because of her speed and being what Olivia did when she was young and could have went on and ran track in college. So I mean, it's gonna be something that hey, this might be Zoe's sport. You know, she might get in track and like, hey, I love this.
Saying. She might even play basketball.
You know, so I'm looking forward to what she can do on the track, and she's gonna try tennis. I'm looking forward to see her do that. You know, and she's kind of excited. But you know, at this age, man, you go have fun, man. You know, I'm not gonna hate on no one's kid. You know, if my kid is good and your kid's better than my kid, guess what? I'm gonna get my kid to catch up with your kid or try to pass your kid. Right. I'm not gonna sit there and hate on your kid. I'm gonna go out there and do everything I can to get my kid better. You know, me and Jessica both drop money on her going to training and doing the things that she does. So she loves the game of basketball. She'll play every weekend if she could. I mean, we was outside last night. It's 40 degrees, 30 degrees. She's outside getting shots up, you know. So I kept saying, get back in the house. It's cold. I want to. But, you know, that's what she loves to do. So if your kid's doing the same thing.
You ain't got to tell them to go do it.
Yeah.
That's when you know.
You know, like I said, I'm blessed that all my kids are not knuckleheads and I'm not having to get them out of jail, knock on wood. But I'm just telling you, I'm happy about that part. But let's get into some rankings. You know, girls high school basketball rankings, and we'll finish up the boys wrestling duel.
Zoe's daughter took what, third?
Who's that? Yeah, Zoe. Hey, shout out to Zoe Williams' daughter. Congratulations to all the kids that went to junior high state. Thank you, Jonah. They went to junior high state and did their thing, man. I tell you, I think that's one of the hardest tournaments. You could talk about high school wrestling, but junior high, you wrestle every division, every state, every class is one. It ain't just one. If you at 78, that kid can be from class A, class B, class C, all the way up, and you wrestle one. High school, you just have 6A. You wrestling just 6A. 5A, you wrestling 5A. But in junior high state, you're wrestling everybody. You might have 100 people, and you might have 100 people in your bracket. But congratulations to Zoe Williams' daughter for doing her thing over there at Westmore. Westmore, I mean, their basketball team is they're one of the top teams in the state in boys basketball. So
come on, Zoe, I need some football.
Huh?
Zoe, get that football together.
They coming. Congratulations to Zoe's defensive back. Getting a couple offers from OU and then Michigan State. I tell you right now, Coach Don is over there, man. He kind of like the soul train. He over there dancing and singing because he got them boys getting offers. I'm telling you, that's big time, man. You know what happens when you start getting offers and kids start getting offers? What happened, Big E?
They gonna come on.
They gonna come.
People coming.
What does it say? If they build it, they'll come.
That's it. They coming. Honk. Hey, you got any openings over there? We can get you in. So, congratulations to those guys. But we'll get it going with boys and girls rankings real quick.
Oh, I didn't have the basketball rankings.
That's fine. Here, I grab it.
I had the wrestling pulled up. My bad.
Go ahead and talk about the wrestling real quick.
All right. So wrestling, you got Dual State coming up this upcoming weekend, starting on Friday the 10th. And you know, with Dual State, it's only classes 3A through 6A.
Yes, sir.
So starting off with 3A.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The class 2A, A, and B, they don't A, B, and C, they don't wrestle. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Starting off in 3A, you got Blackwell taking on Hinton in the first round. Then you got Perry and Sperry taking on Perry and Sperry in the first round. Then you got Jay and Sulphur in the first round, and Berry Hill and Marlowe. And then in 4A, you got Tuttle, which is
still pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. I think that means they're the top seed right there.
Yeah,
so Tuttle's the top seed. You know, they're one of those schools. They're a wrestling school. That's what they are. I mean, they're really an everything school. They're good at football. They're good at baseball, wrestling. They just kind of run 4A. But
their basketball's pretty good. They got a girl.
I had a couple cousins that played out there. They're pretty good. But got Tuttle taking on Bristow. You got Wagner taking on Chickasha, Cushing versus Fort Gibson, and Clinton versus Catoosa.
Catoosa's a pretty good school.
Yeah. And then moving on to 5A, you got Elgin versus Pryor. Collinsville taking on Duncan. Lawton Mac taking on Glenpool. And Piedmont taking on Coweta. And then lastly with 6A, you got Edmond North taking on Mustang. Yukon taking on Broken Arrow. Bixby and Sand Springs. And then you got Choctaw and Stillwater. So,
Woo!
yeah, Choctaw's got kind of...
Rematch?
Nah, it's over.
Yeah, Stillwater's pretty solid this year from
Stillwater's
what I've
pretty
heard.
solid. Choctaw
State championship rematch.
No, Choctaw might not even win a match in that. So,
Yeah,
great job, Benny Coleman.
When did the Edmond North become?
Man, they're just a powerhouse in girls basketball, football. I mean, not football, but girls basketball, boys basketball, and wrestling. Man, Coach Snyder's done a good job with those guys out there. Moving on to girls 6A basketball. On the east side, you got Booker T sitting at number 1, Bigsby's girls sitting at number 2. You got Norman, a tough team sitting at number 3. Choctaw, there's got
Twins still there at Choctaw? Eric's twins?
No, they're playing in Arkansas.
They're in
Actually,
Arkansas.
one of his daughters just got ranked the number 1
They don't live in
2025.
Oklahoma anymore?
Yeah, they don't live in Oklahoma. He
Yeah.
took his talent.
I'm
Yeah,
taking
one of
my
his
talent.
daughters is ranked the number 1 player in Arkansas.
Yeah,
in her
and
class
then
right now.
Choctaw sitting at number 4, Broken Arrow sitting at number 5, Sand Springs sitting at number 6, Jinx at 7, and Wassel. Then you got Westmore girls sitting at number 10. Good job with them. Down on the west side in Class 6A, you got Edmond North, the team that won it last year, has a good chance to repeat. A solid team, man. They're sitting at 18-0. You got Edmond Memorial team. I got a chance to watch. Got a couple great players on that team. They're sitting at 15-2, sitting at number 2. PC West, like I said, a great team. This is pretty much the BTR AAU team. They got 3 losses. They beat up on my Bombers the other night. Bombers, I think they got a good team. I really think if Midwest City was probably in Class 5, they had a good chance to win it. But, that 6A basketball is tough. I mean, you got Yukon sitting at number 5. You got Mustang at number 6. And you got Moore at number 7. Norman North at 8. And then you round up with Edmond Santa Fe at number 10. Then you walk over to this 5A. You got on the east side, you got Sapopa, probably the best team in Class 5A. Tahlequah is a good team. I got a chance to watch them. They got a great center and a good shooting guard sitting at number 2 at 17-2. Hall, never heard of them, but they must be doing their thing out there, sitting at 16-2. Then you got Real Rogers, a team I think that knocked off Carl Albert last year in the playoffs. Then you got Pryor, and then you got Grove, and then you got McAllister, Shawnee, and then Coweta. And then you go over to the west side at Class 5A, you got Carl Albert. Just like I said, they just beat up on Guthrie the other night, but the game before that lost to Piedmont. Piedmont sitting at number 2. El Reno, Jennifer Douglas. I'm telling you, the team you got to watch out for when it comes playoff time. She's sitting at 13-3. She's beat some big time schools already. Then you got MacArthur. Then you got Glenpool, Durant, Guthrie, Duncan, and then Guyman and Dell City girls. Coach Webb. She got them sitting at 7-10, but you got to watch out for that team. They're still kind of young and got some players sitting over here in 4A. Probably the number 1 team in 4A. You got Lincoln Christian. You got Tuttle. Tuttle got a girl that's committed to go to OU. Good ball player, good sized young lady. You got Bethany. You got Kingfisher's always good in basketball. Weatherford, Verticus, Anadarko, Harding, and then you got Wagner and Mainford, right out the top 10. Then you go down to the Class 4A. I'm sorry, Class 3A. I think this is the toughest district of all the district. You got Washington at 1, Bethel. Yeah, you got Jones. You got Idabel. All these teams are loaded. Kingford, Luther, Silo, Kingston, Alva, and Purcell round out your top 10. But, the top 3 teams, your top 4 teams, Washington, Bethel, Jones, and Idabel, any one of them can win it any day, any time. So I love to see how that's going to play out. Then you go down to 2A. You got Dell, probably one of the best basketball programs that's going right now, men and women's. You got Dell. What's that? Amber Percet or whatever the
Amber Pockasset.
Pockasset, yeah. Who's that? Man, I tell you, start getting these.
Some of those smaller schools, in smaller towns.
Indian
Yeah,
towns.
yeah.
What class you in?
Yeah, we're in Class 2A.
2A.
You got Pecola, you got Preston, you got Wagner, you got Howe. Man, I ain't even heard of some of these schools before, man.
Toha?
Toga, Harbor,
Altaha? I don't know.
Altaha,
Hobart?
Altaha?
Toha? I don't know.
Then you go down to Class.
Altaha.
You go down to Class. Class A. You got Selling, Cato, the team that knocked off Carl Albert early this year. Vanos, Riverside, Gaber, Krill, Cyro, Okarche, Red Oak.
Arapahoe Butler.
Arapahoe Butler.
Is that who
They
that
got
is?
the Indian name and then
Canute.
Butler.
and then the owner.
Oh man.
So then you go down to Class B, you know, with my man over there. You got, what's that, Hammond, Lomega, Pittsburgh,
Varnum. This Leukoba sickles. That sounds like a sickness.
That sounds like sickle cell anemia.
Was that Whiteboro,
Whitesboro,
Buffalo Valley,
I'm not going there after that.
Aranette, Calvin, and Turner. We're gonna switch over to these boys real quick.
That was the girls?
That was the girls real quick. So we'll knock the boys out real quick. But I tell you, man, some of them names, boy. I'm telling you right now.
So when did they split this up into East and West? Because I remember last time I did rankings, it was just 6A, 5A.
Nah, they got
East and West. I guess when does basketball playoffs start?
It starts. I
tomorrow.
mean, the
It starts tomorrow.
I think Class A, Class B will start here in the next couple of weeks. Though they'll start getting ready for regionals. I know Jacob just won another tournament. He's doing this thing down here. I do. Let's go every other one. I start with the 6A boys.
All right, sounds good.
I got Edmond North, Stillwater number 2, Bigsby number 3, Broken Arrow, Westmore, Yukon, Choctaw, Sand Springs, Piedmont, and Owasso's the top 10 in the boys. Moving on to the.
Yours is different than mine.
I'm on the rankings. Where you at?
I'm on the rankings. OSSA.
I'm on the rankings right here.
I don't know. Yours is different than mine. Mine's broken up into East and West. I don't know if yours is. I don't know if it's just 5A, 6A.
I think it's 5A, 6A.
Oh, okay. See, mine's broken up by East and West.
Then the boys, I got Elgin 5A.
Yeah.
That can't be right. Because Choctaw, Colorado boys should be.
Yeah. What? Oh, you're on wrestling. You accidentally clicked on wrestling. There you go. Now you're on basketball.
Okay, here we start over there. You got on the east side. On the east, you got Broken Arrow, Pumpkin City North. Two of the best teams in the state right there. Broken Arrow sitting at 17-0. There's a funny thing about this, man. They're getting coached by a guy that played for them and won a state championship. Now he has a chance to win a state championship as their head coach. Yeah, so got Pumpkin City North number 2, Bigsby number 3, Booker T. Washington number 4, Moore, PC West, Lenny Burt. He finds a way to get there. He got some of his players back, so watch out for those guys when it comes down to it. You got Owasso, you got Jinx, and you round it up with Union and then Southmore as your top 10 on the east side, west side.
West side, you got Edmond North, Warren, Westmore, Norman, Lawton, Choctaw at 5. Choctaw, they were starting off pretty hot. Kind of slowed down because they had they got a few guys hurt, but from what I heard, they should be getting them back this week. So the right time to get your guys back heading into the playoffs and everything like that. So hopefully they'll be able to go on a pretty good run. Then you got Mustang at 6, Northwest Classen at 7, Deer Creek at 8, Emma Memorial at 9, and Edmond Santa Fe at 10.
Coming in on the east side at number 5, you got Memorial at number 1, Holland Hall number 2, Edison Prep at number 3, Nathan Hall at number 3. Edison Prep at number 3. They got Nathan Hall. They both.
There's a tie for 3rd. Okay. Edison Prep and Nathan Hale are tied at 3rd.
Okay, the Bishop Kelly at number 5. I guess same thing with Collinville. They're both tied at 6. Collinville and Coweta. Claremore's at 8. Glenpool at 9, and Tahlequah's at 10. Then going to the west side.
You got Carl Albert 1, Del City at 2, El Reno at 3, Southeast at 4, Piedmont at 5, Mount St. Mary at 6, Guthrie at 7, Noble at 8, and MacArthur at 9, Durant 10.
Okay, coming in at the Class 4A, you got Kingfisher at number 1, Crossing Christian at number 2, Weatherford at 3. You got Douglas, probably the best team in Class 4A. I'm just telling you, watching those guys play Del City the other day, they're the best team in 4A. I don't care what you say. You can talk about Kingfisher, Douglas Trojans. You can talk about Kingfisher. You can talk about Crossing Christian. But I'm telling you right there that Terry McMoores is probably one of the better players in the state. I know he took his talents from Del City to come over to Douglas, but I'm just telling you right now, I know everybody can talk about the young man over at Del, but I'm just telling you, Terry is really athletic, man. The kid can jump. I'm just telling you, somebody's going to take a chance on this young man and put him in D1, and he's going to make somebody happy. The kid can go. So, like I said, Douglas at number 4. Oklahoma Christian at number 5. Newcastle 6. Coach Jesse. Only loss, he has a couple losses, but one of his losses to Douglas at by a point. And I'm just telling you, Coach Jesse and Newcastle, man, no one talks about Newcastle. I know they think it's out there's a bunch of old preppy 90210 guys out there, but I'm just telling you, man, Newcastle, he got some players out there. I'm just saying, but I'm saying he got some kids that can go. So yeah, boot scoot hoogies, whatever you want to call them. Jesse's done a good job out there, Coach Jesse. I appreciate what you're doing out there with Newcastle. I know, Coach, AD out there, Mr. Goose is loose. Is happy what you're doing out there with that basketball program. Coming in at number 7 is Stillwell. North Rock Creek coming in at number 8. Arcadia and Anadarko, and then Tuttle coming in at number 10.
All right. In 3A, you got Metro Christian at 1, Millwood at 2. Millwood's pretty solid team. I think I trashed on them the last time, but you look at the records. They're 10-9 and they're ranked at 2. I don't know. I mean, all these teams.
I think Millwood will be a team that's gonna play for the state championship, Big E, like they did in football.
I don't know. Purcell at 3. I don't know. I don't know if you can justify ranking a 10-9 team above all these 18-1.
Apparently they see something or they had injuries.
I guess. And then you got Roland at 4, Sequoia at 5, Prague at 6, Marlowe at 7, Crooked Oak at 8, Alva at 9, and Lindsay at 10.
Man, I ain't gonna tell you some of these teams on this team. I know Dale coming in at the Class 2A as the number 1 team.
They'll win it.
You got Preston, Oklahoma Christian Academy, Hennessy. Who's that?
Concord.
Otaha, number 6. Hooker, number 7. Hooker. Pecola at number 8. What's that? Calera at number 9, and Hobart at number 10. Folks, I'm telling you right now, man, some of these towns, boy, you have to have a GPS tracker to get to them because I have no clue where they're at.
Moving on to Class A, you got Cato at 1, Ratton, I don't know, something along those lines at 2, Vanos at 3, Ok's at 4. They're not that good. They're just okay. You got Arcarchi at 5. Sealing at 6, Allen at 7, Boone Apache at 8, Riverfield at 9, and then Texoma at 10.
All right, rounded up at Class B. Class Fort Gibbs, number 1.
Fort Cobb,
I'm sorry. Fort Cobb at number 1. Number 2, you got Rolfe at number 2. Stringtown at number 3, and our man Jacob Mayfield, Calumet at number 4. Buffalo at number 5,
Kenta,
not Kunta, but Kenta at number 6. You got number 7. You got Duke. You got Goodwill. Goodwill at number 8. Goodwill, but good. And you got at number 9. You got who?
Leedy.
And number 10, you got
Glencoe.
Folks, never heard of them, but hey, keep doing your thing in those towns. But like I said, before we wrap this up, I was gonna ask these guys in a 1 minute span, what does Black History mean to you two?
Making me go first?
Yeah, whoever.
Okay.
Man, I just don't like the idea of giving me 28 days. Just let it be what it is. I think the more you talk about racism and all that stuff, it's gonna stay. I mean, Black history is history. I mean, I get the why they gave it to us, but I just don't celebrate us every day. I mean, I don't want a street name. I just want equal rights, equal everything. I mean, the times have changed. It wasn't like when, mom and dad was little. I mean, now it's different, but it's like I don't like it. I mean, do you like it? I mean, I don't.
I just think Black history is, like I said, one of the things it is. I know my mom as a young lady, and her mom picked cotton, and right. I think that they have opened up the doors for us not to be able to do those things. We have black owners, black presidents. We've had a black president. We've had a woman as assistant, vice president, as an African American woman. We had, like I said, black owners. We have more black people in
Right.
the media and doing big things and open doors for other African Americans. But like I said, kind of on Coach Cole's show, I don't see color because.
Well, you got to see color.
Well, I'm just saying I've never taught color in my house because my
Right.
kids are biracial. So, I could never tell my kids don't do this, don't do that. My daughter is married to a white man, and I know one time one of her friends over at Arkansas Tech had asked her, said, "How did your dad feel about you dating a white guy?" And she said, "How can my dad get mad? My mom was white."
Right.
So,
Well, shit.
but just because different cultures, like you said, prejudice is not taught at they're not teaching prejudice over at JCPenney.
Right.
They're
It's in the
teaching
house.
it's teaching in the house. So Black History, like I said, it's come a long way. Thank you for everybody. It's opened doors for us, African American. But like I tell people all the time, it is different walking in the black man's shoes and then in somebody else's shoes.
Right.
But I think we're trying to change that culture with everything that's going on in this world now. Because like you said earlier, there's not one color. Everybody's one color.
Right. I mean, the color system was just a thing of power and control. I mean, to me, we're all shades of brown. There's no white, no black. It's just, I can get into the history of it. We didn't have time. I can do my own podcast. On
Okay.
that, because that's what I do. I study black history. I study a little bit of everything. But like I said, I can spend weeks and days about black history. But black history was the foundation of everything. We built everything. Slavery built this economy. You may say yes or no, but free labor, you're making trillions of dollars. Slavery made trains, planes, automobiles, it done all that stuff because it was free labor. One slave was worth thousands of dollars. It's just like a trading block. So, we can get into that. I understand you feel bad. My thing is, don't feel bad by giving me a month. Give me equal. That's like you did the Jews or the Asians. Give us our money due. Give us our land. Give us our. That's what I want. I don't want a month. I want value. I want land. I want money. I want us to be where we can catch up. A black family is so behind because we didn't have a great grandpa that had land or a house. We couldn't get those things.
Yes, sir.
But you want to give us 28 days. I don't want that. I want my 40 acres and a mule. Like I said, I can talk about this all day. This is what I do.
40 acres and a mule.
But I'm just saying, that's what I want. I don't want 28 days. That's why I say I hate black history, or I hate the first black coach or he's just a football player. I don't want all that.
Yes, sir.
That's just my take on it.
Yeah. I kind of have the same take on it, but it's from a different lens, being it as I'm not a black man, but
Right.
I am very thankful for, the black men that I've had in my life, black men and women. I wouldn't be where I am today without it. Tony bringing me on this show, he's the one that started this thing, and, luckily he brought me on here and gave me a platform and everything to do what I do. But, I grew up, I had, black friends and all that stuff, and I tried to, you talk about not seeing color, but I think, it's important to you gotta see color. That's a culture, an interruption and if I were to get pulled over by a police man, I wouldn't have to worry as much as, let's say my black.
Big E. I just saw 5 black. Was it 7 black officers?
Well,
beat
yeah,
up
but that was not racially motivated.
That was because he's dating his girlfriend.
That was not racially
that's what
motivated.
that was about.
But no,
this girl. I don't.
The dude the main cop, the dude that beat up, that was because he was talking to his girlfriend or wife or whatever it was. That's why they beat him up. It wasn't because it was just. There was more to it.
But yeah, it's
right.
and I hear it's unfortunate. I don't know. You might have had the conversation with Gabe and Day Day. If you get stopped by 10 and 2, you just yes sir, no sir,
Right.
yes ma'am,
Yes,
no man.
yes,
Me,
right.
I'm gonna do that out of respect.
Right.
Anyways, I'm not gonna be. I'm not.
That's real talk.
I'm not gonna be a hole to a cop just because it's a cop. He has a job to do, and
Right.
if he's pulling me over or stopping me, probably a decent reason for it. So, that's, it may not be the case for other people though, and that's why I think it's important to see color, see culture, things like that, because it's different upbringings.
That's when they would say white privilege. It's not about financial means. It's about when you look in the mirror, you don't have to be like, okay, what do I have to wear? What does my hair look like? Like me
No,
in my
that's true,
medical
man.
field, me wearing dreads.
I hate that. I hear that all
Like,
the time.
like you don't have to worry about when you, like you said, and you step out the door. Okay, I can't wear this hoodie, or I can't. That's what white privilege is. You don't have to worry about being white. You just walk outside. Yeah. But people like to turn it to, well, I don't have any privilege. I'm not rich, or and it has to do with money. It just deals with you have the preference points, so you don't have to worry about when you step outside. Like if I want to go sag or whatever I want to do, I have to worry about this stuff. You sagging versus me sagging is two different things.
Yes, sir.
But, I mean,
well, see, the unfortunate truth is I walk outside and I'm sagging. And he's like, "Oh, that's a white boy trying to be black."
Yeah,
that's what they say.
Right.
So
yeah.
I
mean, like I said, it goes both ways. I do get upset about the hair because I don't think a hair makes a guy a thug or you know what I'm saying. I mean, because you have dreads don't make it look bad.
Culture.
Deshaun just got dreads. I thought his dreads looks good. He got it faded in. I hear comments all the time. People saying, "Oh man, you got that thug working for you because he goes." No, it's
that's
not
because
thug.
they don't know.
You don't know that person. Don't read the don't judge the book before you read it.
I'm saying they don't learn about a culture. They're just going off news. News is what sells. Media is what sells racism.
Yeah. But so I show every white woman or a woman that has pink hair, I say, oh, she's a this and that. No, I mean, some people like that kind of style. I mean, if that's what you want to do, have pink, purple hair, that's you. I'm not going to judge you, think you're a bad person because you have that. I'm not going to be like, when you come close to me, I'm going to grab my wallet and, do all those things. But I just, like you said, you're right. There is always going to be racism. But like you said, you had good points about Black History Month. Black History Month. I mean, every month is a Black History Month to me because
Black history is American history.
That's it. That's
and
it.
one other thing I don't like, I know I get on this. Like I said, I can talk about this all day. I hate when they call us African Americans. I wasn't born in Africa. You have to be born somewhere to be. If I'm born in Africa and came over here, I'm African American.
So what they should call you?
American. I was born in America.
Arkansas black man.
No, I'm just saying. If I'm born in Europe, then you're a Europe American. Or I was born here. I'm like when you do out the census or your little medical stuff, I always mark out African and I put American. I'm American.
American African.
I'm not even that. I'm American. I wasn't born in Africa.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just dark chocolate. Well, folks, we can go here all day. We appreciate it. We'll be back here in 2 weeks, man. We'll have a little bit more high school basketball regionals and all that stuff tied up, man. I love the guests we had today. Good luck to both of those young men in their next chapter. They're done with their high school career. They're going to go try to tackle the next career of being a great college football player, no matter what position they play or whatever they got going, man. I think you got two great men that's going to represent the state of Oklahoma. One's going to be at OU, the other one's going to be at UNLV, but I think they're both going to do great things at the next level. Once again, congratulations to Ethan Davis, getting accepted to OU. That's a big honor here with Keep It 100, man. Like I said, I watched this man work his butt off, and he's just doing big things, man. And like I said, we'll be getting more into scholarships. We'll figure out if we're going to do a 500 to 500. We're going to do 1,000, but we'll start getting that out here in the next couple weeks and try to get it done by spring break, maybe the 1st of March or the end of March, to have a winner. We'll do like we did last year. We'll go out, meet them, present them the check. We will do a scholarship, folks. That's how we are. We're not some of these other yahoos that just keyboard junkies. We're going to give you money because I think it's the most important is giving back, even though we're not making a dime on it. But if I can get back to a young man and young lady, I've done my job at Keep It 100, and I know these two guys feel the same way.
Absolutely.
All right, we're out of here. Get us out of here, Eat.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, retweet, put us out there, share us, all that good stuff. And, we appreciate it. And we'll see you probably about 2 weeks from now.
So. Keep It 100 Oklahoma
High School Sports.
We out.
See ya.